Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Lauren and today you can see that I'm in the shop and I am bringing you a roundup of all the new fabrics that we have had over the past kind of 6 to 8 weeks. It's been a couple of months since I've done one of these videos. June was a bit of a quiet month in terms of getting deliveries, but we've had loads of really gorgeous summer stuff in recently, so I wanted to show you all of that today. This video is linked to a blog post which sort of directly kind of groups all of the fabrics together, so if you're looking for it and you can't just find it on the website or whatever, you can go to the blog post and then I'll list all the fabrics that I mentioned there. But of course you can always just check the Just Arrived section because everything when it's new goes in there for about 3 weeks anyway. So the first ones that I'm going to show you are absolutely gorgeous. They are the new autumn winter collection from Liberty. So twice a year they bring out a range of seasonal prints and they're always sort of themed around a specific topic. So the theme for this collection is all about the founder of Liberty and about his travels and where he went and all of the things that he did, and it's just amazing and the prints are just beautiful. And I probably say this every time, but I think it is my favourite seasonal collection to date. So I'll show you the whole range kind of close up. I've picked out a couple of my favourite ones. So these are all cotton, the Tana cotton lawns, that beautiful, nice, soft, lightweight cotton lawn base. I love the scale of this print. The colours are just really beautiful as well. It's really nice, like a lovely kind of rich tealy colour with these gorgeous pink flowers. I was teaching a workshop last week and somebody was making the Avid Seamstress day dress out of this and it was beautiful. It was really nice. And then the other one which I love, which is just so fun, I really want to make a little blouse or a top. I'm thinking some kind of like blouse with a little tie at the front, is this one here. It's called Lido, and it's all these really cool ladies swimming and splashing in the water, and it's got loads of lovely colours in it and it's really, really nice. But yeah, we do have just a lovely selection that is from their seasonal collection. And then we've also new in Liberty, we've had a few poplin prints. So it's cotton poplin. So the base cloth is just a little bit sort of heavier. It's got a bit more structure. So it's good if, say, you were making a dress that was maybe like more fitted in the bodice and had a more structured skirt, like it might have pleats or it might be gathers, and you just need something with a bit more weight to kind of hold the shape of it. This would be really good. Also good for shirts as well. Like shirts are quite classically made out of poplin. So if I just unroll a little bit here, this is one of the prints here, and we also have a similar one in a Tana lawn, but it's not got a navy background. It's got a cream background. It's called Neon Safari. But if I open a little bit out, just so you can get more of an idea of like the handle of it and the drape, because it is, so you can see it still does move around, but it just holds its kind of shape a bit more than the cotton lawn, which is a bit more floppy. But yeah, we've got 3 different prints in the poplin. And then sticking with the cotton lawn theme, we've got some new Lady McElroy ones, which are kind of going off the sort of floral vibe, which is nice. It's just nice to kind of have something different. So this one here, which is called Sketchbook Faces, is really cool. I'll hold a bit of that up so you can see it as well. I think when you see the print from a distance, it kind of looks a bit different. It's not until you look up close that you start seeing the shapes of the faces in it, but it's got a kind of very light sort of green and a kind of bluey colour as well, which is quite nice. So it's not just black and cream. A really nice one. And then another sort of more abstract face one here, but it's got more colours in it. It's really cool. This one here, very artistic. I'll hold it up as well so you can see it on a kind of larger scale. Oh, my arm's like getting tired. So yeah, I think that's really nice as well, and a bit more obscure and abstract. Again, I think this would be good for dresses or tops or shirts, blouses, that kind of thing. It's really, really satisfying fabric to work with. Cotton lawn, it's very crisp, presses really well. And then I feel like these ones are really quite 80s vibe, but I just totally love them. The colours in them are amazing. This one especially, what's it called again? They've got quite cool names. Oil Pastel Doodles. Yeah, I just think that's really, really good fun. It would just look really cool as a garment, very striking. And then the other one, which has got really lovely vivid colours in it as well, this one here. So it's got a navy blue background and then just lots of lovely sort of paint stroke shapes, I guess, of lots of different colours. So yeah, it's nice if you like things that are sort of a little bit darker. So that's all the cotton lawns, some Liberty ones and then some Lady McElroy ones. And then sticking with the cotton theme, we've also had this really lovely pinstripe cotton in, just like a classic blue and white pinstripe, but it's got these amazing neon flowers in it that just totally like jump out of the fabric. It looks really cool. I think that would be nice as like a little shirt dress. You could maybe make a little belt to go with it or something. I think that would be gorgeous. Very sort of fun take on classic pinstripes, I think, with just these really bright embroidered flowers on it. And then the next one that I've got to show you is a Tensile. So this is also a Lady McElroy one, and they've brought out this new base cloth and they call it a Tensile lawn. So it is pretty lightweight, but when I put my hand against it, I would say it still is opaque, but because it is very light, it's a bit more like a viscose or a rayon. You know, you can see it's much more floppy than like a cotton lawn. I think if you were making a dress in it, you probably would want to line it. I would line it in just a plain viscose, just because it would like feel really thin on your legs. But I think if you were making a top or a blouse, then you wouldn't need to, it would be fine. But it's like a Paris theme, so it's kind of like the streets of Paris, and then it's got people on it and sort of Paris landmarks, and yeah, it just looks really cool. The colours in it are just nice as well, very sort of subtle and toned down. It's a really nice kind of nice novelty one without it being too, sometimes novelty prints can be like, I don't know, quite kind of garish or bold, but this is more subtle. So that's really nice. And then we've had a couple of new double gauzes, Nanny Arrow ones. So we've got this one here, which has got really lovely kind of pinky and sort of orangey, peachy flowers on it. It's really gorgeous, really beautiful. But then the sort of variation and the density of the flowers kind of varies. So if I turn it round, then there's sort of more kind of splodgy bits here. I think what you could also do with a print that's like this is like, see, instead of when you came to cut out your bodice, like, you know, you would have it on the fold there opposite the selvage, depending on what length you wanted to make the thing that you were making, you could turn it the other way, so then like that would be the bottom and then your fold line would be there. Hope that makes sense. You can use the pattern in different ways basically, so it's just, yeah, it's quite an interesting one to work with. And then the other Nanny Arrow one, which is one of her, again, another quite classic style, but the colours in this are just beautiful. It's got an amazing kind of tealy background, and then it's got they usually have little birds on them, these ones. Where is it? Yeah, there's the little grey sort of bird there. But I just think that's really beautiful. Sorry, the sunlight is shining on it. And cotton gauze is good for, I think it's really good for tops. The top I'm wearing just now is the Ogden Cami. It's made out of a double gauze. But you could do the Stevie top, the Tilly and the Button Stevie top, or the Grain Line Willow, or even the Grain Line Scout Tee. Just something simple. And also when the fabric's as beautiful as that, you just want something simple to show off as well. So they're the two Nanny Arrow double gauzes, but we've also got a beautiful new range of double gauzes that are wider width, because they always come up narrower. They're usually about 100 and 106, 108. These are actually, I think they're 140. Let me just check. Yeah, they're 140. So we've got a couple that are they've all got little metallic notes in them as well, which is beautiful. So this one's kind of like waves, nice sort of bluey tones with a pink. And then we've also got that in a different colourway as well, which is sort of lighter blue with cream. And then we've got this amazing flower print one here. So it's got sort of gold bits on it and then darker blue leaves, lovely pink flowers, just really, really, really nice, really striking. And that also comes in a lighter colourway as well. And then we've got this one, which is very artistic. Bit of a sort of Jackson Pollock theme going on, or like Monet or something. But it's just beautiful. You can see the gold metallic finish on it is like really catching the light. It's just gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful. And then we've also got these other two ones here, which the colours are just so rich in this range. It's just really, really lovely. So this one's got these beautiful big pink flowers on it, which is really nice. And again, it's got the gold sort of accents on the leaves. And then this one, which is a bit more of a bluey theme. some nice leaves as well, again with the little gold accents on it. So yeah, they're all cotton double gauze as well, so good for the same kind of things. Little tops, shirts. I have seen quite a few nice versions of the Closet Case Callie shirt in a double gauze as well, which looked really nice. So that is all the double gauzes. And then moving on to, this one's a little bit odd, but the reason I'm saying it is because we'd had it in another colourway and it was so popular, but we couldn't get that colourway again. So it is the cloth that is a viscose linen mix. So the base of it is the base cloth is nice and floppy and it drapes around because it's made of viscose, but it's got more of a kind of natural texture to it because it's got the linen in it. So we did have it on a cream background with little red lobsters, but unfortunately, sorry, we couldn't get any more of that, but we did get it on this kind of, it's quite a sort of minty blue. It's one of those fabrics, it depends what light you look at it in, like sometimes it looks more green and sometimes it looks more blue. My own eye sees it as a bit more blue, but I honestly think it's like open to interpretation. It's a cool colour anyway. And then it's got these little navy lobsters on it, so you can see the drape of it's really kind of floppy and like lightweight and stuff. It's really nice. So yeah, we've got that instead of the other one. So if you saw the cream and red one before and you missed out, then maybe that'll satisfy your need for a lobster fabric. And then the next ones that I've got are something a little bit different. It's a linen mix and it has got various things mixed with it. I'm going to read them out just so I don't forget. It's got viscose in it, it's got cotton in it, and then it's also got Serona. So Serona's like more of like a newer type of fibre, I guess, a bit like, you know, you're hearing Medal and Tensile and those sort of things. So it's produced from sustainable sources, which is the pulp of the trees, and then and it's produced in an environmentally friendly way. It's really breathable, it's wicking, it's just like a really nice fibre to sort of wear and use basically. So there's a bit of Serona in that, but because it's got, so Serona itself is a bit floppy, you know, that particular fibre, then because it's got the viscose as well, then it's going to have a bit of that characteristic, but of course then the linen brings the texture. So it's just a really interesting fabric. We have it in 5 different colours. This one is this is obviously a darker blue. I think we've just called it navy, but it's not a flat navy. Like you can see that there's texture in it, and there's almost, you know, it's not like it's just not a flat colour. There's more depth to it, and it's really nice. It's not opaque at all, so it's really versatile. Like you can literally use this for anything from like tops to dresses to trousers to jumpsuits. You know, it's going to be good for so many things because it does drape, but it's not see-through either. So yeah, that's a nice one if you're looking for something very summery and breathable. It's very hot here today. And then the next one that I've got are a cotton and linen mix, and it comes in 2 colourways, and it's a bit like a really fine pinstripe. So because it's just cotton and linen, it does have a little bit more sort of stiffness and structure to it. It's also, I would say, probably like a little bit lighter weight. I think if you made trousers in that, they would feel very summery because they're quite lightweight. A dress would be fine, and I don't think you'd necessarily need to line a dress either, unless it was more like a straighter shift dress. You know, if the dress had more kind of gathers in it, then it would be fine, you know, if it felt fuller in the skirt. But yeah, I think it's just a really nice one, and the little pinstripes just sort of give the overall fabric like a really nice texture. So there's that darker colourway, and then we also have the lighter colourway as well, this one too. So that is the cotton linens. And then let me just look around and check I've shown you everything. This one is kind of a little bit of an odd one as well, like it doesn't really fit within a theme, but I wanted to show you anyway because it's new and it's really nice. And also because I'm feeling so hot, it feels weird to tell you about this fabric because it's a sweatshirt fabric, and the forecast is to be like 34 degrees today, and I can't think of anything worse than wearing a sweatshirt, but you know, it will get colder. We do live in the UK after all. It's from the same collection that those wider width double gauzes were that I showed you. It's really nice and soft. It's got a fleecy background, and then it's got the little gold kind of accents in it as well. So yeah, if you're kind of thinking ahead, you're maybe somewhere in the world that is not that hot and you could bear the thought of a sweatshirt right now, then it's a really nice fabric. So that is that one. And then the last ones I've got to show you are just some really nice, lovely new viscoses. They're on the rolls behind me. We've got various different prints, but I've pulled a few over just to kind of open out and show you here, but I'll show you the other ones closer up anyway. So this one it's really quite artistic, which is beautiful, like it looks like it's been painted. So it's got lots of beautiful colours in it. And if I just open it out so that you can see how it moves and drapes a little bit more. It's a viscose, so you know it's going to be beautiful and floppy, but yeah, I think that would make a gorgeous dress, a top, a nice skirt. Let's see how opaque it is. It's not totally see-through. I think, it would depend on the style of the skirt or dress that you were making. If it was fuller and you know that it's going to be summery, you probably wouldn't need to line it. If it was a more kind of straighter dress, then maybe you would feel like you wanted to put some viscose, plain viscose underneath it. But yeah, we've got a couple that are more kind of sort of sketchy, paintery vibe. And then this one here I think is nice because it kind of veers away from the floral side of things a little bit. It's just like a little bit more abstract, and it's got lovely cool blue colours in it, but then little bits of pink and a kind of peachy corally colour too. I think it's really nice, really summery. I'll open that out so you can kind of see the effect of that too. I think it's gorgeous, really nice. I love the colours in that one. And then we've got another one which is a bit more tropical, and it comes in two different colourways as well. So this is the navy one, and then we've also got it with a kind of like an off-white sort of creamy background as well, but same print and same colours and everything. These beautiful big coral flowers, that's just been such a popular colour this year, that coral colour. It's really nice. I think this would make a really gorgeous jumpsuit. I don't think this one, it seems like quite as it's more opaque than the other ones. Like when I put my hand behind it, you can't really see my hand behind it at all, I don't think. Probably the lighter colourway of this one, you might be able to sort of feel like you can see through it a bit more, but the darker one I think is fine. But yeah, it's just like a really bold, striking print. I think the print is also, although it's quite large, I think the scale of the print is kind of, and the orientation of it is like random enough that you wouldn't need to pattern match or anything. Like I would just kind of go for it and see where the cactuses and flowers ended up, basically. So that is all of the fabrics that I wanted to show you today. I hope you've enjoyed seeing them. If you've got any questions about any of them, then you can just leave me a question in the comments below and I shall try to help. Remember, you can check the blog post out to find the links to all of these fabrics, or you can just look at the Just Arrived section online as well. I'll put a link to that in the video too. We ship worldwide. People often ask me that a lot, so I thought I'd try to remember and say it in the video. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm probably going to be taking like a little bit more of a break over August, just because there's various other things going on. But I'm still here and I'll be back again in September. I'm not entirely sure how and when I'm gonna kind of wrap things up in terms of my baby coming, which is coming in November, but you know, I'll be back before then anyway. But if you haven't subscribed to my channel, just remember to hit subscribe and then you won't miss out on the next video. And I'll see you soon. I hope you have a good summer. Bye.